For 160 million years, they were the absolute gods of this planet, rulers of a world that seemed eternal.
But their reign was about to end. A single rock.
This is the story of the day the world ended. The story of how the ancient dragons vanished forever.
Let's go back 66 million years to the late Cretaceous period. The supercontinent Pangaea was breaking apart.
The planet looked familiar, yet alien. The Americas were split. India was an island, floating alone in the ocean. Great mountain ranges like the Andes and the mysterious lands of Siberia and Mongolia were just taking shape. The climate had been shifting for millions of years. The world was cooling down, with ice caps forming at the poles.
Temperatures in some regions dropped to minus 45 degrees Celsius, a harsh warning that the planet was changing.
Yet, compared to today, it was still a tropical paradise. Continents were carpeted in thick, lush forests.
And then, a revolution happened. For the first time in history, flowers bloomed. Fruit trees began to appear. Modern ancestors, like walnut, ash, and beech trees, started to form the woodlands we recognize today.
With flowers came the pollinators. Butterflies and bees began their eternal dance, changing the ecosystem forever.
This explosion of fruit and seeds provided a feast. It sparked a rapid evolution for both herbivores and mammals.
Mammals were there, living in the shadows of giants. They weren't the dominant species yet, mostly small creatures.
Take the cronopio from Argentina, a small squirrel-like creature, but with saber teeth and huge eyes.
But not all mammals were victims. Meet Repenomus, a meter long, 14 kilograms of muscle, and bad attitude.
It was a hunter. Fossil evidence proves it actually hunted and ate baby dinosaurs. A nightmare for the hatchlings. Despite these brave mammals, the dinosaurs were still the undisputed kings of the food chain.
From the tiniest oculodentavis, with a head no bigger than a hummingbird,
To the earth-shaking titans like the Alamosaurus, 29 meters long, weighing 38 tons.
Its tail alone was 12 meters long, a whip capable of breaking the sound barrier. A living fortress.
5 hours before impact. The sun rose on a day that seemed just like any other.
In the Yucatan Peninsula, a herd of 50 Alamosaurus moved slowly, searching for fresh vegetation.
Meanwhile, in the lands of Mongolia and China, a different beast was on the prowl.
A Tarbosaurus. 14 meters of terror. The apex predator of the Asian continent.
3 hours before impact. Life continued, oblivious to the doom approaching from the sky.
In North America, a Pachycephalosaurus wandered the plains, a strange creature with a built-in helmet.
Its skull was protected by 25 centimeters of solid bone, a battering ram designed for combat.
Deep in the forest, a mother Ankylosaurus was guiding her 4 babies. Walking tanks of the Cretaceous,
Covered in armor plates, with a deadly bone hammer at the end of her tail. She was ready for anything, except the sky.
2 hours before impact, North America. A fatal mistake is about to be made in the forest.
A Carnotaurus, the meat-eating bull, wanders into the territory of the ultimate tyrant.
The Carnotaurus was fast, clocking 50 kilometers per hour. But speed isn't everything against raw power.
Suddenly, the ground trembles. The T-Rex appears. 6.8 tons of pure muscle against 2 tons.
The battle was short. The T-Rex's bite force crushed the smaller predator effortlessly.
As the king feasted on his victory, he didn't look up. He didn't see the second sun appearing in the sky.
10 minutes before impact,
The assassin from space enters the final stage. Scientists in 1980 found the clue, a layer of iridium in the soil, a fingerprint of a cosmic killer.
This led them to Chicxulub, Mexico, the scar of a 180-kilometer-wide wound on our planet.
The moment of arrival. A rock 10 kilometers wide, weighing trillions of tons, hits the atmosphere.
Gravity pulls it in at 20 kilometers per second. Friction turns it into a glowing ball of plasma.
It becomes brighter than the sun. The T-Rex, miles away, is suddenly blinded by the flash.
The heat is so intense that skin blisters instantly. Forests burst into flames before the rock even touches the ground.
In a fraction of a second, the asteroid crosses the horizon. The era of the dinosaurs is over. Impact. The asteroid strikes the shallow waters of the Gulf of Mexico. 10 billion Hiroshima bombs. That was the energy released in a single second. It punched a hole 20 kilometers deep into the Earth's crust. The planet rang like a bell. A magnitude 11.2 earthquake rips through the ground, 50 times stronger than anything humans have ever seen.
Volcanoes across the globe erupted simultaneously. The Earth itself was screaming.
Then came the shockwave, moving faster than the speed of sound, flattening everything in its path.
The T-Rex never knew what hit him. The pressure wave stripped the flesh from bone and hurled him into the air.
15 trillion tons of rock and earth were blasted into space. But what goes up must come down. The debris returned as a rain of fire. Glass rain. Molten rocks heated to thousands of degrees fell like hail, igniting the entire world.
In the oceans, a mega-tsunami rose, a wall of water 100 meters high.
It swallowed the coastlines of North America, a force 100,000 times stronger than the Japan tsunami. But water was not the only killer. The debris launched into space began to fall back down. Looking up, friction turned these rocks into balls of fire. The atmosphere heated up by hundreds of degrees instantly, the air shimmering with intense heat waves.
The entire planet turned into a global oven. For the Ankylosaurus family, their armor was useless.
In the Yucatan, the herd of Alamosaurus didn't even have time to run. Within moments, they were vaporized. The age of giants was burning away.
Those who survived the fire, like the Tarbosaurus hiding in deep caves, eventually emerged.
But they stepped into a hellscape. The sun was gone. Dust, ash, and sulfur choked the sky, blocking the sun's rays for years. Without sunlight, the Earth began to freeze. Temperatures plummeted by 28 degrees. It was the impact winter, a long, dark night that lasted for decades. Then came the acid rain. Toxic water fell from the sky, poisoning the land and sea. The plants withered and died. The food chain was broken at its foundation. Without plants, the herbivores starved. They wandered the frozen wasteland in vain. And when the herbivores died, the carnivores had nothing left to eat.
One by one, the rulers of the earth faded into history.
But life is stubborn. Deep underground, a faint heartbeat remained.
Small mammals had taken shelter in burrows and tree hollows. A small furry mammal sleeping safely in a warm underground nest with its babies.
They were small, adaptable, and could survive on almost nothing. the small voles sniffing around. While the dinosaurs perished, these tiny creatures endured the cold. Two small mammals huddled together for warmth.
They were the ancestors of us all, waiting for the sun to return. The cure.
Finally, after years of darkness, the dust clouds began to clear.
The sun shone upon the earth once again. The ice began to melt. Icicles dripping water from
From the ashes, ferns and grass began to grow. The Cenozoic era had begun, the age of mammals. A lush green valley fully recovered.
The survivors emerged from their holes into a green new world. A group of marmots coming out of their burrow.
With the dinosaurs gone, there were no monsters to hunt them. A primitive mammal climbing a tree freely, no T-Rex in the background, sense of freedom.
They evolved rapidly, growing bigger, faster, and smarter. The forests were soon filled with new life. Birds sang where dragons once roared.
Among these survivors, one group took to the trees. A chimpanzee-like creature swinging from branch to branch, agile and quick.
They developed grasping hands to hold fruit and eyes to see far. Close-up of an orangutan's hand grabbed.
Millions of years later, they came down from the trees.
They learned to use tools, control fire, and build societies.
The destruction of the dinosaurs paved the way for our existence.
If that asteroid had missed, we would not be here today.
We are the children of that catastrophe.
Today, Homo sapiens rule the planet, just as the dinosaurs once did.
We have conquered the land, the sea, and the sky. An airplane flying high above the but we must remain humble. The dinosaurs ruled for 160 million years. We have only been here for a blink of an eye in comparison. A clock ticking fast, hands. Their dynasty was ended by a rock from the stars.
Are we safe? Or are we just between catastrophes?
Unlike the dinosaurs, we have eyes that can watch the heavens.
We have the intelligence to change our fate. A futuristic city with green technology, flying cars.
But the question remains, can we outlast them?
Will we break their record of 160 million years?
Or will we too become a layer of fossil in the rock?
The story of Earth is one of constant change. Waves crashing on a beach, the tide coming in and out, eternal cycle.
Dominance is never permanent.
We are simply the current guardians of this world.
And let us use our time wisely. African American people, men and women of various ages, planting trees.
For the universe is vast, and we are small. The last day of the dinosaurs was the first day of our story. The sun rising over the curvature.
And the story continues.
Only time will tell what the next chapter holds. An hourglass running out of sand, but the sand turns into stars. This was the story of the end and the beginning.